Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your girl Tony, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. The Lord is doing amazing things, and I do not want y'all to miss these great words that the Lord is sending um, through His prophets to share with His people to get us out of bondage, to get us out of these emotions and these heartbreaks that we are feeling, to get us out of all of this trauma that we've been living with so long, right? And help us come out of the darkness and into the light. So the Lord placed it on my heart to come on and share such a beautiful word, but with a very deep message behind it. Um, excuse me. I can feel it in the spirit that a lot of people are just maybe confused right now, maybe lost, maybe stuck. Maybe they have like this deep sense of disappointment. Maybe they can't trust what the Lord is saying because they have unrealistic expectations because God's ways is not our ways, His timing is not our timing. Excuse me. Um, I can also sense that a lot of people are going through a lot of heartbreak. A lot of people are holding on to a lot of emotions and trauma that was attached to what happened to them last year, maybe the year before that, a lot of childhood trauma. So the Lord placed it on my heart to get you out of these emotions and help you see the new that He's doing in your life and help you bring you into the light, because that's so important. And I want you to know that your suffering will not go in vain. The Lord sees you, the Lord hears you, and He understands what it is that you're going through, right? And sometimes we wonder, why do we have to suffer this way? Because I used to feel the same way. Why do I have to suffer like this? Why do I have to go through all of this? Because I had the same feelings and I had the same emotions. Why do I have to suffer this way? And the Lord told me that if you don't suffer or go through these feelings, how will you be able to help other people get out of them? Right? If I'm just always up, and I'm never experiencing what other people may truly be experiencing, what use am I to humanity if I don't even know how to bring you out of these feelings because I've never experienced them? So I too myself had experienced such a hard time in this journey, right? Where I just kept feeling disappointed, this deep sense of disappointment. And even in the darkness, the Lord was still with me because He's not going to let you go. If you have an intimate and personal relationship with God, He's not going to let you go. Um, He's not going to just let you walk away from the things that He have shown you, right? From your future, from your destiny. He's not going to let you opt out from that. He's not. And He's saying in this moment that even in these emotions and even in these feelings and even in your disappointment and even in your hurt and even in your lack of trust, I am still with you. I am still here. And I will give you the desires of your heart once you surrender them to me. And this is where the disappointment and the lack of trust is coming from, because we hold on so tightly to what the Lord is telling us that is all we can think about. It's all we care about. It's all we want, right? And God is saying, I told you this because I want you to know that I am the Lord and I have already paved out a future before you. I have already planned out everything that I want you to already experience. But it was never meant for you to hold on so tightly to them that it breaks your heart, that it creates disappointment, that it creates a lack of trust. You have to be able to surrender what the Lord is telling you and still be able to work on your relationship. But I also want to say this, that in this journey, it's not easy and you will get upset with God. You will feel disappointment. You will feel like He has forgotten about you. You will feel like you've been waiting and waiting and waiting, right? You will feel like all of this time has come. I've been suffering and suffering. You will feel this. You will go through these emotions. You will have you will have to experience all of this. You will. And I know it's like, well, if he's a good God, why do I have to experience all of this? You're not the one that had to be sacrificed on the cross, right? You're not the one that had to be beaten and sacrificed on the cross. You just going through a little bit of heartbreak and a little bit of betrayal and a little bit disappointment and a little bit, right? But it's not compared to what Jesus Christ had to go through. So I want you to remember that when you feel this way. I want you to understand that when you are in these emotions, like, all right, this is not bigger than what what Jesus had to sacrifice for me to be here. This is not bigger than that. I can get through this. But I have a beautiful scripture that I want to share with you guys that ties in with this word. And we're in Mark chapter 4, verse 14, all the way to 20. It says, the farmer sows the word. Some people like seed along the path where the word is sown. As soon as they hear it, Satan comes and Satan comes and takes away the word that is sown in them. Others, like seed sown on rocky places, hear the word and at once receive it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes, because of the word, they quickly fall away. Still others, like seed sown among thorns, hear the word, but the worries of life, the deceitfulness of wealth, and the desires of other things come in and choke the word, making it unfruitful. Others, like seed sown on good soil, hear the word, accept it, and produce a crop, some 30, some 60, some 100 times what was sown. So the Lord is saying, even when you feel lost, even when you feel stuck, even when you feel confused, right? What have I told you? Where are you planting your seeds that I have already told you? Because you have to recognize where your seeds are being planted in order for you to stay in confidence, in order for you to stay in good faith, in order for you to walk into the thing that the Lord has told you you will be going into, right? The Lord is saying, I've told you all of these things, and yet you still feel disappointed. Why? Because do you not believe it? Why? Because did you let Satan come get it? Why? Because the root of what I have told you was never strong? Which one is it? Our lack of trust when it comes to the Lord is just us not believing, right? And us not believing is a sin. We have to believe what the Lord has told us. We have to believe because so many people are tied to where the Lord is about to take you. So many people are tied to your testimony. You're going to bring so many people out of bondage. You're going to bring so many people into the presence of the Lord. This is bigger than you. So God is saying, where are you planting your seeds? Because in order for you to get out of these emotions, in order for you to get out of this state of believing that you're not good enough or you're not worthy or you're never going to receive it or you're feeling lonely, you're feeling lost, you're stuck, you have to know where you're planting your seeds. Is it every time I tell you something, you allow the enemy to come and snatch it away? Is it every time I tell you something, you truly think you believe it for 1 second and then the next second you don't because you don't see things happening? Because you think that your life is messy. You think that your life is out of order. You think that the chaos that's going on in your life indicates that this thing is not going to happen. But the Lord is saying, where are you planting your seeds? Where are you planting your seeds? Are you allowing the enemy to snatch this thing? Or did you never believe from the start? That's how you can get out of these feelings. When I read this, it immediately helped me recognize, okay, Tony, where am I planting my seeds? Did I let the enemy come and steal it? Did I never believe that this was ever going to happen? Or what? So I had to evaluate. I had to sit back and reflect on where my thinking was coming from and why I was feeling like this, right? But God says, when the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, put on the full armor of the Lord. So you can, because he has given us the authority to fight this thing. He has given us the authority to overcome these emotions. He has given us the authority to walk in confidence of what it is that he has told us. But he's asking you at this very moment, where did you plant your seed? And that's something that you can truly ask yourself. Where is my seeds being planted? And this right here will help you recognize that God is not a man who shall lie. God is still good, even in these moments where you are experiencing hardship, even in these moments where you are experiencing confusion, right? God is still a good God. Let's go into the numbers that I was seeing. So remember, I experienced the same thing. I had this deep sense of disappointment because sometimes we'll listen to all these words and they'll tell you, oh, this is going to happen in 3 days, or this is going to happen in the next week, and be prepared. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And then we get excited and we have these expectations that it's going to come, right? When we think it's supposed to come. But remember, it's going to come at God's perfect timing, not yours. And I know that's so hard to understand and grasp sometimes. It is. And it's okay to feel that way. It is. It's okay to feel that way. But I had this deep sense of disappointment and hurt. I was like, oh, at one point in time, it was just feeling like a pipe dream where it was like, this is never going to happen. I'm just dreaming about it and I feel silly. And I kept seeing the number 1222 and 222. And I looked up the Hebrew Strong Concordance of it. And 222 in Hebrew Strong Concordance is God is my light, flame of God. The flame of God symbolizes representations of God's presence, his power, and his wholeness. God is my light is a sign of God's presence. Light is associated with the Lord's presence, his favor, his wholeness, his goodness, his knowledge, his wisdom, truth, life, and his revelation of power. Even when you are in a dark space, the Lord light and his presence and his love and his wisdom and his wholeness and his favor is still over your life. How good can that get? Right? And all you have to do is recognize where your seeds are being sown. And this can get you out of the funk that you keep falling victim to going into. 1222 in Hebrew Strong Concordance represents gold, wealth, gain. Wealth is a sign of divine favor. Even when you want it to happen and it didn't happen, there's still favor over your life. There's still purpose in the reason why you're going through what you're going through. There's purpose in your pain. There's purpose in your hurt. There's purpose in your trauma. So the Lord sent me to Job 12:22 and Luke 12:22. Job 12:22 says, He reveals deep things of darkness and brings utter darkness to light. The Lord is trying to pull you out of the darkness and bring you into the light by helping you recognize that even in your dark space, I'm still with you. Even when you have sown your seed in places that you have not recognized, I'm still with you, bringing clarity over your life. I'm still with you, holding on to you. I'm still here, loving you and taking care of you, even when you're not being yourself, even when you're not being a child of God. So this means God's ability to uncover hidden truths and bring things out of darkness into light. The deep things of darkness refers to the things that are concealed, unknown, or difficult for humans to understand. These can be the mysteries of life, secret sin, or hidden intentions. The Lord is always with you, even when you can't see it, even when you can't understand it. He's always with you. I don't know how clear that can get. Luke 12:22. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat, or about your body and what you will wear. When I was going through my emotions and I was in such a hard space, I just felt like it was never going to end. God was still there. He was still there because his mercy and grace is always with us and he's always good. Even when we don't want it, he's there. Every morning I woke up feeling better and I'm like, no, I don't want to feel this way. I want to be upset. And that's because I wanted Satan to steal what God has already sown in my life. And you got to recognize if this is something that you're doing. Are you allowing Satan to steal what God has told you? Or did you never believe? And I think that's so important for you to recognize. Did you ever believe from the start that this will happen? Did you ever believe that you'll be able to be this person or this thing? Did you ever believe? So that's the word that I have for you guys today. I wanted to come on and share that. I do encourage you to study chapter 4 of Mark or read the whole book. It's great. A lot of wisdom and insight in Mark. So I pray that the Lord bring you out of this confusion. I pray that you understand that your confusion has purpose. I pray that you understand that these deep, dark emotions that you are experiencing is what's going to help you help other people, right? And we can't see it right now. We never can see it when we're going through it, but it's not until we are out of it where we can help other people get out of it as well. I pray that you see that God is a good God and the things that he has prophesied and promised over your life is still going to come. You have to recognize the season that you are in. You have to be in covenant with the Lord about the season that you are in. And most importantly, surrender. Because when you can surrender what the Lord is saying, you're walking in perfect peace. When you can surrender what God is prophesizing over your life, you can live free of confusion. When you surrender what the Lord is doing, you can trust that his hands are always going to be over your life. You can trust that he's working it out in your favor, right? When we don't surrender and we hold tight to what the Lord has told us, we become weary and we become upset and we become frustrated and we start looking at the time and we start looking at the date and we start getting hurt. And this is where the loss, and this is how we end up wandering off into the darkness because we stop trusting and we stop believing, and that hope and that faith starts deteriorating. But God is saying, surrender. Surrender what I told you is going to happen. It's not until we let go that everything happens, right? And I think I said this before. Once you let go, you will recognize that everything is going to happen for you. So I pray that this word touched your heart. I pray that you see what God is doing in your life, and recognize the signs and wonders and the miracles that are about to take place, right? Know your season, ask for your season, pray, spend time with the Lord, because nothing is more important, right? I also made a post where I was talking about how we don't want to pull the cookies out of the oven before they're done baking, right? So whatever God has going on in your life, let it cook. You don't want no crumble cookie. Them cookies is disgusting. They're not done. You want food and your cookies to be all the way done, meaning you want what God has for you to be fully prepared, and not just what he has for you. You want to be fully prepared. You want to be done, right? You want to be walking in your best self to experience this. You want to be shining and living in the fullness of what the Lord has shared with you. So surrender. Just give it up. And sometimes you have to worship. Worship is how you can surrender those feelings. It wasn't until I got up and I started telling the Lord, I don't want to feel this way today. I don't want to hold on to this. I don't want to be stuck in this. I don't want to cry all the time thinking about this. I don't want to be sad today. And that what surrender is. You get up and you open your arms and you open your hands and you pour out your heart to God, and you just tell him, I don't want this. I don't want to experience this heaviness anymore. I'm tired of it. That is true surrendering. And then you just trust and you just live righteous and know that it's going to come. So I love you guys, and I pray that this word touched whoever it needs to touch. And I'm sending out prayers to you. Okay.